Hello and welcome. Today I have a new palette from Deep Deep Light. It's called Albert's palette. And so before I get going, for those of you that don't know, these are handmade watercolours by Agnes and Dana in Latvia. And this particular palette was created for Dana's son. Which I think is rather sweet. And it's kind of a metaphor for life on this planet. That's what they're calling it on their website. Um, so they're very proud of this particular little palette. And the colours that are in there, I will go through as we do them. So they always come packaged really nicely. They've come in this little tin. I could have chosen a different size tin, but I chose this one. I will be adding to my Deep Deep Light selection of colours that I already have. Get that up the right way. So those are those, and then we've got these ones on this side as well. So I'll be putting them in here eventually. So I'm gathering up a nice selection of deep light colours. So the book that I will be swatching these in is the Beetle sketchbook, which is also on the Deep Light website. It's handmade, and it's very much like the caddy paper, if you are aware of that or know of it. So it's very much like that. I've also got some 3 little colour dots. These were 3 new colours to me. And I've got a little palette here that I'm going to be doing some mixing on. I've got my water. My water is in this beautiful new water container, which my husband got for me yesterday. And this piece of pottery, believe it or not, was made by a 12-year-old, a lovely little girl, 12-year-old. My husband works in careers advice and guidance, and he goes between a couple of residential children's homes. And yeah, it was one of the girls in one of the residential care homes that had made this. 12 years old. It's absolutely stunning and beautiful. So I've also got my dropper here, because in every set of watercolor paints that you order from Deep Deep Light's website, they always pop this saying, to add a drop of water just to activate them before you start. Nicely handwritten as well. So let's make a start and get these out, and we will go through colours and I will swatch them all. So I'm going to start off with Burgundy Yellow Ochre. And Burgundy Yellow Ochre is a sunny sand colour. It's the earth from Burgundy. It's PY43. It's semi-transparent, and it's the highest light fastness. So let's move that off. Just going to pop a little bit of water on there. So that is our first colour. Our second colour is Mineral Blue. Mineral Blue is a new generation pigment. It's composed of Paris Blue and a mineral base, which is calcium carbonate, and it gives a new character to this colour whilst keeping some of the characteristics of Paris blue. But it adds fluidity apparently. So this is mineral blue, PB27, semi-transparent. Let's just, I don't want that, I want my dropper, don't I? Let's just add a drop to that one, like so. Moving on, we've got Mana Red. So Mana Red is a mix of ancient red oxide and contemporary vermilion. Apparently there are around 18,000 manas in Latvia. Many of them were built from wood, and when mixing this colour, that was their first association. So here we go. So Mana Red, PR101, semi-transparent. I keep doing that, and I want a dropper. There we go. Moving on, Albert's Muss. Is that this one? Yes, Albert's Muss. So Albert's Muss is a pale, old, pink-like dessert made by Albert's dad. It's translated as manna from heaven. It's a traditional dessert. It's made from summer garden berries and manna or bread, and is served with milk. So the colour is a mix of potter's pink and slate, and apparently this one is granulating. So Albert's Muss, PR233, semi-transparent. What have we got next? Wagon Green. Wagon Green, a new generation pigment that granulates and fluctuates, and it's semi-transparent. I've taken as much information as was there off of the website. There we have our Mana Green. And finally we have Captain's Grey. Captain's Grey. Apparently one of Albert's great-grandfathers was a helmsman and steersman. He went to the Sea School of, oh gosh, Annecy, the most famous sea navigation school in the region. The colour has the variety and depth that amazed us throughout its creation process, and is something that they wanted everyone to experience. It's a mix of ancient red, wagon green, burgundy yellow and mineral blue. So we have got PY42, we've got PR101 and PB27 in here, and it's semi-transparent. So apparently this palette also mixes nicely with other natural and human-made pigments. So let's get swatching then. So we will make a start with burgundy yellow ochre. Oh, this is stunning. What a lovely colour. And then we'll just allow that to water down. Wow. Lovely. Okay. Then we've got our mineral blue. Okay. That's a beautiful blue as well. And it goes really nicely with the yellow ochre. So now let's just allow that to water down. Okay. Now let's get our Mana Red. Oh yes, that's like a brick red or a English red kind of colour. Pretty. Moving on then to this very interesting Albert's Muss. This was the apparently granulating one. That's a good colour. It's an earthy colour, but it's got a almost like a lilac-y tinge to it. It's got a warm colour. And then we will add some water there and let that mingle and merge. So moving on to Wagons Green. I do love a good green, and that's a nice green. Pretty. Aren't these stunning? Right, let's just add some water. There we go. And then finally, we have Captain's Grey. This is a warm grey. It's a browny grey kind of colour. Oh, it's already granulating. Whoa. That is really interesting. Gosh. Wow. Okay. I thought my fingers might get a bit more messy than they did, but let me just, they're all a bit wet, but you can see the glorious granulation in many of them. You quite often do in the mineral ones anyway. These two probably not quite so much, but these four have definitely got some nice granulation going. I'll bring them back up when they're dry, but let's go on to do some mixing and see what we get. So I'm just going to move these off for a minute. Get them in a bit of an order over here. There we go. Right, and as long as you can see what's happening here. So with our burgundy yellow ochre. We'll just pop you in there. And obviously we're just going to be mixing it with burgundy yellow ochre. So I'll just do a lighter version at the bottom there. And then I need to mix it with the other 5 colours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's first of all mix it with a bit of Mana Red. I might not have put enough in there. Let's add a drop more. Okay. And that gives us this colour. I might need to, there we go. Now let's mix it with our Wagon Green. Lovely. Then with the Mineral Blue. With Albert's Muss. And finally with Captain's Grey. That's definitely turned that into more of a browny colour. Okay, where's my little tissue gone? Got my little tissue so that we can just wipe those out. And then we can mix our Mana Red. So, oh, okay, I see something that I've done there, but it's fine. So we've got Mana Red. And then with Mana Red. So we'll just put that watered down. And then we need Mana Red with Wagon Green. You have to excuse the fact that I've done that wrong. So Mana Red with Wagon Green. And then we want Mana Red. I'm going to need 3 more of those. So let's just do those when I've got it out. With the Mineral Blue. We can kind of see where this Captain's Grey comes from. Now we'll mix our Mana Red with Albert's Muss. And finally with Captain's Grey. Wow, there we go. Now let's take Wagon Green. We'll put Wagon Green there. And then we just need a watered down version there. And oops, we need 3 lots of Wagon Green. Firstly, we'll mix it with Mineral Blue. Then we need Albert's Muss. And then we need Captain's Grey. Okay. Taking our Mineral Blue. And with Mineral Blue. And then we just need to mix Mineral Blue I'm going to bring that up for you to see on there. I'm hoping you can see the granules in the Mineral Blue. So we need to mix that with Albert's Muss. And we need to mix it with Captain's Grey. Okay, let's get Albert's Muss. Oops, I've dribbled on the page. And then we just need a watered down version. And then we just need to mix Albert's Muss with Captain's Grey. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Let's just pop Captain's Grey down there. And the lighter version of Captain's Grey, like so. Right, yes, I did one line too many at the top there, but never mind. So, I think you can see that we've got some rather nice colour mixes there as well. I'm going to dry that off and come back and we will do one of my splodgy things and our dots. Okay, let's just pause for a moment. So these are now pretty much dry. That one's a tad wet, but it's pretty much dry. And there we go. Look, I mean, look at that one. And Albert's Muss and the Mineral Blue, the Man. Well, actually, they are all lovely. So I'm going to just finish drying them off and then we'll do the colour dots. So I was sent quite a few more colour dots, but I had already swatched them out on previous videos. So the ones that I'm going to swatch out are Cloudberry. And I probably should have put some, just leave those soaking a little bit. So this is Cloudberry. And that's a real lemony yellow. There we go, there's Cloudberry. Let's see about Maduri, which is a green. So this is quite a fresh green as well. Goes really nicely with the Cloudberry. And then we have got Mustard. And there we go, let's pop Mustard in there, because you never know what colours I might want to order next. So I refer back to these colour dots, so you can see, yeah, there's some colour dots there, and some of those colours I now have. And I think these are all colour dots, so it just helps me keep a track. So I keep track of all the half pans that I've got, and also the colour dots. So that's what I'm using the back of this book for. However, let's now do one of my splodges, just to see how those colours all go together or not. But I'm pretty sure they will. I'm just going to take each one . And let them do their thing. So that we can see what they look like up against each other, and you know what happens if they mingle a bit. To say this Manna Red is the most delicious colour. I mean, they're all lovely, but and then our final colour, Captain's Grey. Let's get some of you in there. And maybe we'll just do a bit of splatting. Making a right mess here now, aren't I? There. Let us just dab that off. There we go. Right. So this is Albert's palette, and you can see what that looks like when we just allow all those colours to mingle. let's dry that one off. Okay, so moving my water and my palette out of the way. So here we go. That is all dried off. Those are our colour dots, and that is my big mixture of Albert's palette. Just seeing what happens when it mingles and merges, which is rather lovely. And then just as a final reminder, there are the colours for Albert's palette. Beautiful palette, I think. So I'm glad to have those to add to my collection. I will put a link below to Albert's palette, the sketchbook, and as usual I was using my Escoda Perla paintbrush. So I think that's about it really, isn't it? I hope that there's maybe some colours there that have inspired you. So as always, thank you for watching, and stay healthy, stay safe, stay calm, until I see you next time. Thank you, everyone.